Okay, this is lesson 6.8, and in this lesson we're going to use SOH to find angles this time. To do that, we need to remember what SOH stands for. SOH stands for sine theta equal to opposite over hypotenuse. That's the SO. The CA is cos theta equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. And the TOA is tan theta t equal to O over A, opposite over adjacent. And when you encounter a problem and you have two sides, you can find either of the acute angles using SOH. And to do that, you need to be able to use the inverse ratio. The inverse ratio involves using the second button on your calculator. So if you look at a calculator, above the sine, cos, and tan buttons, you have this sine -1, cos -1, and tan -1. And we can use those buttons to get us our angles. So in a calculator, above sine, we have sine inverse. Above cos, we have cos inverse. And above tan, we have tan inverse. And how does this work? Well, if we want to know an angle, we need to know the ratio. So if we want to know an angle using sine, we need to know O over H. We need to do O divided by H. So to find our angle, we just have to do sine inverse of our ratio. So if we can do that in a calculator, we can find our angle. So I'm going to show you. Second sine 0.667. And this will find us our angle, 41.8. If we have cos theta equal to that same ratio, we would just do cos inverse of 0.667, and that would give us second cos 0.667, and we get 48.2. Now, if you're not getting these two numbers, you're probably just not in degree mode. Reset your calculator or change the mode to degree. The last one, if we want to use the tan ratio, we would do tan inverse of 0.667. And doing this, really, we're just getting used to using the second sine, second cos, and second tan. Second tan, 0.667, and we should get 33.7. Remember, we're solving for angles, so 33.7 degrees. All right, let's try an actual question. There's going to be 3 steps when we solve for angles. First, label the sides with O, A, and H. Figure out whether it's a sine, cos, or tan ratio we can use, and then use our inverse. Let's give it a shot. I think you're going to enjoy this. Finding angles is actually much easier than finding sides, in my opinion. Sometimes I'm proven wrong, though. Some people find this more challenging, but I think it's easier. Let's give it a shot. If we want to find this angle, C, first we label the triangle. So we got O is across from our angle, H is across from the 90, and A is the one touching the angle. So in order to find an angle, we need 2 sides. We have 2 sides. We have the O side and the H side. So we can ask SOH, which of these has O and H in it? And the answer is SO has O and H. So what that means is we're going to use the sine equation. Sine theta equals O over H. And this time we know O and H. O is 6, H is 11. So now we can do 6 divided by 11. And we get 0.54 repeating, which is 5454. If we're going to do this right, we should write 4 decimal places. So 0.5454 equals sine theta. And now, if we want the angle, we just use sine inverse. And that will get us our angle. So let's try that. second sine 0.5454. We get 33 degrees. So that means that angle C is 33, oh, 1 decimal place, 33.1 degrees. All right, let's try another one. In the second one, we want to find angle T. So that would be this angle. So we're going to call that our theta. And let's label the triangle. Across from theta is the opposite side. Across from the 90 is the hypotenuse, which we don't know. The last side is our adjacent. So what do we know? We know A and we know O. So SOH, A and O is in TOA. So we're going to use our tan equation. So we got tan theta equals O over A. Order matters, it's got to be O over A. Let's fill in what we know. O is 4.5. A is 6.5. Tan theta. Now you can do 4.5 divided by 6.5 and get your decimal and finish like we did over here, or we can go right to the inverse. Tan inverse, and then we're going to use a bracket, 4.5 divided by 6.5. And we can type that whole thing in our calculator, and it saves us a step. Just watch. Second tan, 4.5 divided by 6.5, close bracket. It's really important to use the bracket around the division, hit equals, and our calculator does all the work for us, and we get 34.7. Up to you what method you want to try. If you like getting the decimal first and then doing sine inverse, that's fine. If you want to skip the decimal step, you can do that as well, and you'll get the right answer. There's one example left, and it's to find angle M. I'm going to leave that one to you. Start by labeling the triangle from angle M. Pick which sine, cos, or tan equation you're going to use, and then use the inverse to find your angle. Make sure to check your answer on the course website, and thanks for watching Lesson 6.8, Solving for Angles Using SOH. One lesson left in the unit. We're going to do some application questions in Lesson 6.9. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in 6.9.